Biden does not have a firm grasp on anything. Pothole Pete, keep in mind about Pothole Pete. Stopping racist roads, whatever that means, I don't know.
Let's hop into a Sean Hannity segment I really want to poke some massive holes into, as his logic is never the brightest. So if you can, first take a moment, leave a like on the video, it's free and it really helps us out. We appreciate it. And let's hop right in with our fact checks ready.
Biden does not have a firm grasp on anything. He barely ever held a cabinet meeting, never mind, put it out there publicly for everyone to see. And by the way, he just simply wasn't mentally, cognitively up to the job. Everyone knew it then. Everybody knows it now. The left lied. The media lied. They all covered it up. Unfortunately, his cabinet was also incredibly incompetent for a variety of reasons. Look at Mayorkas, for crying out loud.
I love that MAGA is still running with this line and trying so hard for it to still be true and hit as it falls flat on its face. If Biden's cabinet is so incompetent, please MAGA, please any MAGA in my comments, name the comparable action to Trump's cabinet leaking classified battle plans. I'll wait. What is the comparable act to Trump's cabinet accidentally firing nuclear safety workers, admitting it, trying to hire them back, and then not being able to hire all of them back? If Biden was so incompetent, tell me, MAGA, single MAGA in my comments, why did his 4 years result in 7 major pieces of legislation to Trump's 1 while having smaller numbers in Congress? If Biden was so incompetent, why did he come into office with economic consensus we would hit a recession, only to steer us clear of ever hitting a recession? Meanwhile, Trump came into office with economic consensus that we were in a strong place in our recovery from COVID. And within 100 days, we're flirting with recession and inofficial negative economic growth. It doesn't work anymore. Give the lineup. We can clearly see who the incompetent ones are in real time. Anyone with common sense. This only works for the cult.
Pothole Pete, keep in mind about Pothole Pete that he is now considered a real contender for the party's nomination in 2028. I don't know by who, but he's one of the worst transportation secretaries in the history of this country. Under this guy's watch, America's infrastructure pushed now to a breaking point. According to the current transportation secretary, Sean Duffy, quote, Buttigieg didn't lift a finger to fix our air traffic control system. It is 50 years old. Did they ever hear of modernization? Biden, Pothole Pete, they put the safety of every one of you at risk every time you got on a commercial flight, any flight.
I mean, this cope is astounding, right? Like, I know this is only for the cult, I know, but I still don't see how literally anyone can't just see what they're doing so clearly, right? We're having plane crash numbers we haven't seen in over a decade, right? The largest significant crash since 2009, specifically numbers that haven't been seen in years, in more than 5, 6, 7, I think close to a decade, if not more, in fatal crashes, period. Significant crashes, period. We're seeing numbers in plane crashes writ large that are far worse than we saw in the entirety of Biden's presidency. But somehow it's still Biden's fault. Like, they're saying this because the numbers, it's still happening, right? They can't make it any worse, and it's actually getting worse with the things that they're doing. So now it's like, well, oh, it's Biden's fault because they were neglecting everything and we have to be the ones that deal with it, except somehow it never happened under Biden. You know, the guys that were supposedly neglecting it, but now the guys who care so much and can fix everything it's happening under. Like, please, guys, just critically think about anything. Because, like, if this is how gullible the average American is, I really do fear for our future. Trump came in, fired FAA staff at a massive level, gutted aviation safety boards, froze hiring air traffic control staff in a time period where it was stated that they were understaffed, and even put an unqualified Fox News goon to head it. I think that's probably what's causing this. I don't know. I mean, I guess it's easier to never take accountability.
Celebrating Transit Equity Day, chairing the Equity Council, stopping racist roads, whatever that means, I don't know, building bike paths, and funding studies on gender nonconforming people. Now, there's more. According to a fawning, long-form interview with Wired, Pete also spends his, quote, cognitive powers, I didn't know he had them, on reading Iliad and a Norwegian novel titled Spring, while also studying Puritan historiography.
I love that the diss here for Pete is that he reads smart books and stuff. Like, oh my God, guys, he reads the Iliad. How embarrassing. Like, also, perfect white privilege education moment here. We don't get a lot of these anymore because he's laughing at racist roads because as a white man who's never dealt with systemic racism, he obviously thinks this sounds absurd. Oh, how would they discriminate with roads? I, however, growing up as a black child in a black household with a mom who grew up in the Bronx in New York, I learned all about it from a pretty young age, how they would specifically design bridges too low for buses to get under or roads too narrow for buses to fit on, literally to keep them from predominantly black neighborhoods. And how the ones who might get there, right, if they were lucky enough, if you're lucky enough to be in an area where a bus did get to, they were run down, they were old, they would be the ones that would stop, they would take 3 to 4 times the travel time of the other means of transportations that conveniently could never make it to these neighborhoods. Rails would be designed to miss neighborhoods deemed dangerous, while we're like redlining, this was often determined solely by the black population in the neighborhood. There's specific examples, and I'll put it up on the screen here somewhere. There's a Kinder Institute or Rice University Kinder Institute study, and it shows this, how specifically there's black neighborhoods that had lower crime rates than white neighborhoods, and these rails would miss those because they were deemed dangerous. This is because of redlining. Also, quality jobs and education were systemically placed far away from these neighborhoods. These two things in conjunct work to make black people stay poorer, stay less educated, again, systemically, while on paper, there could be a front for equality because, hey, anyone can get any job and go to any school. By the way, kind of the utility in things like DEI and affirmative action. And it's funny that the same people who have never read a history book, never read a study, cannot understand the very real reality, undisputed, like indisputed reality of racist roads and how transportation has aided segregation, Jim Crow laws, racism. It's the same people who don't understand that think it's something funny and silly to laugh at, that also think that DEI and affirmative action are stupid and we shouldn't have it. Like, let's please stop letting people who have never read a history book in their life tell us what we should do on social, economic, or foreign policy. It has to be the dumbest thing we could do, legitimately. If you think something like racist roads is silly, you probably shouldn't have an opinion on DEI or affirmative action. I'm just saying.